Hello, everyone, and welcome to part one of our finale of the Mythic Initiative. My name is Chris, and I will be your keeper for these preceding evenings. With that, let us introduce our cast, starting off with C.
I'm so glad that you didn't pass it to me immediately because I have to admit to all of you that when I put my hand up, I did burp, like really loud. Hi everyone, my name is C. I use they them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet, pie sharp art, but that's not important right now. What is important is that I'm playing Eden, who uses the he pronouns tonight, and they're the Hex, and we've got an extra advancement, and I'm here to cause problems on purpose. And I'm going to pass it to my twin, who I missed so much last week, Vin.
Oh shit, we got an extra advancement. Anyway, hey guys, hi. I'm Vin at VinVoxVA on Twitter. I'm a voice actor and tabletop performer, and tonight I'll be playing Heaven, the Divine, and I'll be passing it over to CJ.
Hi everyone, I'm CJ and I'm constantly fighting a battle to get a neck tattoo. But I guess that also doesn't matter. I will be playing Vic the Monstrous. And we're gonna have a murder counter this week. I've finally given up my ways. How many times I'm no longer normal and whatever I've been saying for the last 8 weeks. Murder on the mind. And I will be passing it to Humna.
Yes, hi, hello. My name's Humna. I use any and all pronouns, and I'm on one tonight, but that's also not relevant. Today I will be playing Misfit, who uses he, they pronouns, the Summoned, who is grieving. Well, doing better now from the grieving, I think, thanks to the power of friendship and love. So I love that for them. And with that, I will pass it back to Chris.
Fantastic. Before we start our next episode here, some content warnings in case you did not see them. With that, this episode includes fantasy violence, apocalypse, gore, blood, familiar struggles, drug abuse, severe weather, romance, and references to sexual entanglements, monsters and monstrosities. References, nope, sorry, that's from another one. But yeah, so that's all we got here, and a trauma. But with that, Mythics, are we ready to enter part one of our lovely finale? Yes? Fantastic. With that, we begin on the same night. We see the camera go in to the city. Everybody's celebrating at this point, as while it may seem normal to everybody else, for the community at large, they know the apocalypse has been avoided. The herald of the apocalypse, this so-called destiny that everyone has been really worried about and on edge, has ended. No more signs of the apocalypse, nothing more. With that, we see what looks like to be a motorcycle gang making their way and pulling up to what looks like to be a nearby club that's in the city. We see that as they sort of park, we see in the back of their jackets what looks like to be sort of a sun-like symbol combined with the moon, as it says, the Court of Yamada. As we see Fae, in their humanoid forms, making their way in. As we enter into the club, it's a beautiful time here, especially for Florida. It's got vibrant lights, music, people dancing, doing bachata, all kinds of happy and merriment, which they feed off of. As we see them go towards where the bar is, you see one of them gives a look in sort of the far left booth. As we see what looks like to be a number of finely dressed individuals in various colored suits. But we also can see their fangs, as these are vampires. As they sort of get to the bar, you see one of the guys goes, "Hey, what's good?" They give a handshake. "Hey, what are they doing here?" He kind of looks over. Don't worry about it. They just got here. We didn't know they were coming, but they send their best and regards. You see that they all kind of turn in unison towards the vampires that raise a glass, and they go about partying. Maybe about an hour or so, we see the bartenders shift, as we don't see the face of this individual, only the brown skin on their hands. With that, you see they begin to prepare a drink. Two of them. And as they sort of finish these 2 bottles, they drop just what looks like to be a golden apple slice in each. As they shake it up, and we start to see it disperse. With that, those 2 bottles go out. Each of these people that get the bottles, the vampires and the fae, get the same message of it's on the house from each of the side. For the vampires, it's from the fae, it's on the house. And for the fae, it is the vampires. It's from the vampires, and it's on the house. They look at each other, again, amusement, and they all begin to drink. But as the water touches their lips, or the drink begins to touch their lips, we see their eyes begin to expand. As we see what looks like to be a misty like purple begin to overcome. We see one of the fae notice this, grabs a bottle, and walks towards the vampires. It immediately crashes against a table and begins to stab vigorously into one of the vampires' necks. With that, the image becomes very blurred out as the vampires go full-on vampire form. The fae begin to sort of pull out their forms as well, as fighting begins to happen, as blood gets splattered across one of the walls, splatters across the wall again, as we see that bartender figure smile ever so happily as they throw their apron in the trash and begin to fire. As a murder of a most gruesome kind has happened. But with that, we shift back to the house, where we find Heaven. Heaven, everyone's sleeping at the moment. In the current moment here, you're with Vic. But as you're trying to sleep, you begin to hear something kind of go psst.
Um, are you okay?
You see, look to Vic. It's not them. You had another psst. Heaven, it's Galgar.
They don't move. Instead of looking in whatever direction Kel is in, they just look at the ceiling. Give me one reason why I shouldn't throw you in the recycling bin.
You see that they poke their head out of a nearby wall as they're in a ghostly form. You've never really seen Kelgar. You always assumed he was just a sword, but you see that there is a figure or a person to it, and you see what looks like to be a medieval warrior with sort of their face half decayed, with the other half slowly decaying as well, and what looks like to be sort of a sickly green form as they sort of poke their head out. I know you're upset, but I wanted to apologize for my actions. I didn't know what well, not Tia in this case, but I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought it would have been simple.
I know you're upset. Upset is the smallest word you can use for ruining. I would say a child, but then that would denote that I would be human, which I've learned is not the case. So you ruined my life. You ruined my sibling's life with your need to become human. So congratulations. 2 birds, 1 stone, 1 sword, I guess. And then they realize how loud they're talking. Is Vic still asleep?
Strangely, yes. Maybe they're a heavy sleeper.
Damn.
He said, "Look, I don't want to wake them up. Can you just come outside in the hallway so we can just like talk, you know?"
Fine. I can talk. I have so many words for you, none of them pleasant. And
I know.
they're
I
just rolling
know.
out of bed, and they'd want to stop and be angry and show that they're angry, but instead they're like putting on slippers and walking very quietly.
You look lovely, by the way. I think demonhood and angelhood looks very splendid on you this time of season.
Stop talking. Please stop talking.
Kind of going into the hallway. Look, I wanted to apologize again. I didn't know what he was going to do. I thought he was going to be maybe talking or whatnot. I didn't know he was going to kill here. I mean, I didn't know. I mean, I was surprised as you. You didn't see it because I was kind of shook, but, you know. I needed a destiny fulfilled, and, you know, even though he's the bad guy, I didn't think he was that bad of a guy. You know, it's just... I'm sorry. I know that doesn't mean a lot, especially from when you were raised by somebody like Naomi, but I just wanted to apologize.
If I accept your apology, will you finally be out of our lives? Will
If
that be
you...
a destiny fulfilled?
Yes, it would, but I did want to offer my services in case you needed my help. I mean, I would love to make amends for what
You
I've
know,
done.
I've made it pretty far without you. So if that's all you need for me to forgive you, then I'll let you have that so you can be on with your life.
No, I understand. I understand. I, you see, he's fumbling for words at this point. I hope things get better for you all.
I wish that too, and I'm not entirely sure that it will, but at least we have each other. I'm feeling extremely bitter right now. I think I know. No, I will never know how Eden feels. I'm sorry. Look, Kilgar, I forgive you. You're free. Destiny fulfilled. I don't know any other magic words to say whatever you need for it to happen. So, whew.
Well, there's one last thing I want to show you before I disappear from your life.
Okay.
You see, he goes towards the same door that you exited out of. Are you ready?
I am ready as I'll ever be.
It's just a dream. You see, he opens the door, and as you do, it's pitch darkness in there. You turn around, you see it's pitch darkness everywhere, except for the door frame. Until you see 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of teal blue neon eyes and teeth like wolves. Vroom! Jump at you, and then you immediately wake up.
Of course it was a dream. It had to be a fitting bullshit way to do something like that. It was a dream. It was great. They just have that moment. And they sit up and try to calm themselves down. They look in the direction where Kel was. Are they there?
Nothing, no sign of anybody or any interference. Maybe it was just a dream.
All right.
But as you're trying to calm down in this instance, you see Vic immediately wake up, and you hear clattering coming from Misfit in Eden's room.
I'm muted. Vic looks to you. We gotta move, and then like super speeds over to like the other room.
They're like trying to peel off the blankets. I can't move as fast, and they're tumbling behind Vic.
I'm assuming I catch the tail end or whatever happened. No, go on.
Yeah, so with that, you both immediately open the door, and with that, as you open it, you see Misfit and Eden embraced, and you also see what looks like to be almost like a slight cut almost across their neck, as you see Eden and Misfit. I mean, yeah, meet Eden and Misfit. You see Alejandro leaves at this point, the Dread King, as these two enter in at the same time.
It's fine. It's fine. Eden like had put their hand up like as Vic immediately came in.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think Vic like was fast enough to like see like his foot or some shit. And it's like I think Vic like runs into a wall, like trying to catch the Dread King as the Dread King is gone, and then like hearing Eden. Are you guys okay?
I am, but Eden. And Misfit will kind of like gesture to Eden's neck where the cut is.
It's fine, really. It was just collateral. Wasn't being so truthful in that dream after all. Not really.
Glad you
Heaven.
didn't kill him.
Yeah, I can fix that, you know, if
It's just a scratch. Are you okay? You weren't with us.
I mean, I'm fine, not really, but I'll be okay. Should we even be like apart? Like maybe we should all like try to arrange like a sleepover situation, watch each other's backs, kind of like a night guard. You know,
You want
somebody
us to
keep
sleep in
watch.
shifts?
Yes.
I mean,
That actually is a good idea.
I mean, if he was going to do anything, he would have done it while we were asleep.
I still don't trust him.
There's no reason to.
I can stay up a little longer tonight. I don't mind.
I mean, it was my idea. I should go first at least.
Are you sure?
Okay. I think I'm gonna make some tea, and they just like tiptoe.
I think Vic follows you out to, I don't know if anyone else wants tea. It's like, I'll get some if you two want some.
Get something for Eden.
Yeah.
Really, it's just a scratch.
Just, please.
And I think as Vic is following you out, Heaven, she just kind of like touches your arm. We saw some weird shit, Heaven. A lot of
Okay. Weird shit as in like our normal weird shit, or genuinely beyond our threshold of weird shit.
weird as in the yeah, he's an asshole and we're probably gonna have to kick his ass, but weird as in the Dread King is shit's complicated.
It cannot be any more complicated than the bullshit we have here. Please, we don't have time for this little
He lost
secret.
both of his partners because the initiative sent him to the equivalent of Mars. He was the first mythic, Heaven, and we're the last. They fucked him up almost as bad as they fucked us up.
Well, good thing we're the last.
I'm gonna beat the shit out of Hobbs.
We can take turns.
Great. Let's get tea.
Yeah.
As you guys come back and get tea, you see just busting in here, just almost like breaking the wall. You see Naomi, full on form, skin alight the same, almost like the Dark Kings. You see Vasco with a shotgun in the back going, "What happened? What happened?"
He's
What
gone. Oh my god. It's like 2 a.m. Calm down.
You see Naomi kind of depowers. One can never be too, what's the word, careful in these instances. So we decided to go full on, bully mode, if you will, or, the word you kids use.
Naomi,
What happened?
I am going to say this with the most kindness that is probably more than Eden could ever give you. It's fine. I saw a lot of things. I'm tired. I'm getting them tea. And to be clear, I'm not that convinced that you could fight him. You as in you, Naomi.
Fight who?
Alejandro.
You see that kind of taking a step back. What do you mean, Alejandro? What do you know about Alejandro?
The Dread King, Naomi, when he
Hmm.
came back 7 years ago and tried to kill us and damn near killed you. We saw it all. We saw him trapped on wherever the fuck you guys are from. And we saw what the Mythics had done to him. So, calm down. I guess we'll take care of it. Like we always do.
You see, they said, you'll do no such thing. Get whatever refreshments you want and meet me back in the room with everybody else. We need to discuss this fully.
We have to do this. We can't do it tomorrow morning.
No, you cannot do it tomorrow morning. And you're drinking drinks. You'll be awake. So get the drinks.
Vic.
Can she
Yeah.
still do that? I don't think she can do that anymore. I honestly, we can. If you can be late to us being attacked, we can sleep and deal with it in the morning. Actually, Naomi, respectfully, actually, disrespectfully, I'm not handling this anyway. And they
Vic's just like, oh,
has her black tea so she can keep watch because it's caffeinated. Black tea has caffeine and just stomps off.
Fine. But not because you convinced me, but I feel that it is more strategically effective if we do it in the morning. As I have gathered the data.
Sip.
And I think Vic kind of is the last person to grab tea. And as he's kind of walking off, he just turns around and looks at Naomi and Vic Vasco. I saw it all, but just give up for once.
I have no idea what any of this is, so I would love to be enlightened in the morning,
I will.
guess.
Yeah, thank you. You know what, Vasco? I will literally tell you whatever you want because you just said the morning, and that makes you hotter in my eyes. Thank you. And
Wow,
Vic just,
okay.
like
I think
walks
it's
off.
that. You see, he's just like, and I think that is the tiredness talking, so we will all go to bed. And you see, he begins to just go off to his room. Naomi kind of just floats up. With that, is there anything that we wish to discuss before we go into the morning?
Yes, if you would be so kind.
Please, you have the floor.
Thank you. As Eden is sitting like cross-legged in bed with Misfit, there's something about like their hand continues to run over that tiny scratch, like just back and forth, like they're tracing out the bed of a river. And they seem to like almost fall into themselves a few times as they're like finding the line, as they're waiting for the tea to come up. And I would like to use my move Tune In, where I can attune my mind to a monster or minion, roll plus weird. And then I can ask some questions if I roll high enough.
Oh, please do. And who will we
Excellent.
doing this to? Alejandro?
Alejandro.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. Oh my god. 14.
All right. So, what are your questions? As you
On a 10 plus, I can hold 3. I can spend my hold 1 for 1. And I get a +1 for ongoing while acting on the answers. What is the Dread King planning to do? Or who is it going to attack? Who is he going to attack next?
Any other questions, or is that the only one?
That'll be
you're
the
really-
first one.
Okay.
As
So-
Eden like kind of like falls out of the back of their own mind for a second and like traces that and almost like connects back to the moment that it happened, where the Dread King must have been literally hovering over them for like minutes while they were dreaming.
You fall into the mind. It's almost like, again, it's those mirrors, this stained glass that you look across in that mind of yours as you're reminded of that ability you could do. And kind of surfing through this endless memory of minds and memories, you get to a place. It's underground. And you can see in terms of he's building something, and specifically you can see the target is the community itself. You see that he needs chaos, he needs strife, he needs energy. And that can only be done with conflict. So that's the answer to that question there.
I will hold the other two for now, if that's okay.
Fantastic. Let me know. I'll write that down and let me know when you pull those up. But with that, if there's nothing else, we time skip to the morning. I will say that at this point, breakfast has been laid out. Very simple, just bagels from one of the nearby bakeries. And with that, coffee's laid out as you see Naomi is at the head of the table with all of you around. Okay, everybody has their desired bagels and coffee, so we should be all good to have this conversation. What do you know of Alejandro?
We know that he's your son. We know what the Mythic did to him. We know how you forgot him and how he tried to make you pay for it. And we know that you've known this entire time and haven't told us. Yet again.
You see they try to keep a straight face, but you can see that when you say moments of you forgot him, you knew, there is that instance of, you can see that instance of they want to say something, but they're waiting for you to finish. And they kind of go, is anybody else have anything else to say before I say my piece?
I saw him in a vision. I mean, it was a while ago. It was him needing to bury the dead, much like I had tried to dispose of our fallen colleagues. That was quite some time ago.
Oh, you saw that too.
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Misfoot,
great.
do you have anything to say? You're awfully quiet.
I think Misfit had been staring into his coffee cup kind of this whole time as Naomi is speaking, as the rest of the Mythics are talking to them. And they just kind of scoff. Like I said yesterday, I'm tired of your secrets.
Mm-hmm.
Let me
You see,
guess. Oh, man.
will you allow me to say my piece without any comments, rebuttals, and with an open mind?
Please enlighten us.
Very well. You see they sort of pull the chair and neatly get themselves up as they take a bite out of their bagel. I did not know my son was alive for quite some time. Unlike most of you, you believe to me to be some evil deity who has ruined your lives, which is half true in terms of I possibly may have ruined your lives, but I am not evil in that sense. I did not know what they did to my son, and upon my immediate return, I tried to find the head of everyone responsible, but Vasco here, as he sort of puts their hands out, managed to calm me down before I blew up the agency from the inside out. I did not know my son was alive. And I never forgot my son. But it is hard for a mother to constantly be reminded of the things they have lost. Hence why he found no pictures, as I kept that in a place most dear to me. And also, as you may have saw, I saved all your lives, as my son most likely would have killed you all that night if I let him be. I understand we are getting to the point in which you will have to deal with my son, but I have a request. I am his mother, and with that, I have bore him from myself. And as much as you do not know of that experience, or ever maybe ever will, it is impactful on you as a being. No matter what he has done, he is my son at the end of the day, and he has been wronged by people. And I humbly am requesting that you do not kill him. I know that may be hard, but it is what I am requesting.
And what of my brother?
I know what happened to your brother, and I didn't know he was capable of that, but he's not in his right mind. He spent the past 40 to 50 years alone, practically, fighting off elements in which we have no understanding of conceptually, in a place that is meant to kill you at every corner and
He seems
turn.
pretty level-headed to me. Calculated, even.
Nevertheless, he is my son, Miss Foot. That is an important. What if your mother, if the situation was reversed, do you think your mother would want you?
Don't.
It is true, your mother or your father.
You don't get to talk about my mother. Or my father, quite frankly.
Look, you see, they're having a hard time processing the words. I am here to help. You don't have to kill him, but I do know a way of weakening him, and if you want to defeat him, we have to work together. As I'm the only person who possibly knows what might weaken him, so we can imprison him and get to him as a person.
Just to be clear, Naomi, just for clarifying sakes, you knew Alejandro 7 years ago. You knew it was him, no?
Yes, I did.
I'm not going to sit here and pretend. I've never been a mother. I don't think I ever want to be a mother. Let's be clear here. I have, and then she kind of looks around, probably the most amount of respect left for you in this group. And that's not a lot. I need you to understand. He almost killed Dell and Frank in front of me. He killed Tyr. Our lives have been so fucked by the initiative and the Dread King at this point that it is almost absurd to give us a request. And I respect that. I'm not mad at you for any of that. That it is your son. I am letting you have that. But you didn't tell us that someone has been chasing us for virtually 7 years. They're kind of. That's what I'm upset about. And we can't just leave him. It's not going to be easy to leave him alive.
But you must try. I know it is a concept that you all have been dealing with very hard lately, as you seem to be on murder after murder after killing
They
recently.
keep trying to kill us, Naomi. It
I thought
started
I
7
raised you.
years ago, and it hasn't stopped.
I'm sorry, are you really upset with us for killing the AD?
They are complex individuals that have had a hard time like many of you, but they do not deserve death?
And we do?
No, but
It's Naomi, it is at this point kill or be killed.
I cannot believe that. I have to believe that there is still something good in my son, that he is not completely lost, because if that is true, then I have truly failed as a mother. As you see, she's trying to hold back tears. I have spent years watching people I love die, and hell be damned if I will let my son be next on that list.
Then talk to him. Give him what you refused to give each and every one of us for years.
Vasco, what are your ideas? You see, Vasco is just sipping, eating, thinking he's not going to be part of this conversation, and just immediately, I'm kind of the third party here. Personally, I say we should just, only because he seems to be the kind of person that will kill us all. But again, that's not up to me. I'm not a field agent. I'm just the home office guy. So at the end of the day, it's up to you four.
Eden has been very quiet for this entire conversation, I think. Like sitting back in their chair with one hand kind of pressed up against the side of their face. Completely blank, not letting any hint of emotion through. They tilt their head to the side and go, "You really should talk to him. Because you have failed. Completely and utterly. Not just as a mother. Utterly."
You're right. Though the words you have used are quite harsh. You're right. You're all right. But I think to
Not
talk
only
to
that,
him... Oh, no, please. Continue.
you made the Mythic initiative. And the Mythic initiative is the organization that told us to hunt the AD in the first place. The Mythic initiative is the organization that brought us in the first place. The Mythic initiative is the organization that allowed your son to go missing on a hostile planet for centuries, years, a lifetime. Not just allowed, but was at fault for. What are you going to do about that, Naomi?
You see they ponder. That is quite complex, Eden. This started all as a society of sorts to help protect people. And in my absence, I have seen that it has only mutated into something truly horrendous of my dream. And the initiative was also...
It has... what an interesting word you used, mutated. How could something have mutated when the very first Mythic was also the very first victim? You started out on the wrong foot.
I didn't start
And it hasn't gotten
anything.
better from there, has it?
The initiative wasn't my idea. It was the agency's. I had strongly advised against it, but I was outvoted.
Outvoted by your own agency.
It is a council of peers. Even though I have created it, I still believe in the round table philosophy. And we were at war, so that's the other thing to consider as well. A war that we didn't know was gonna, end the world.
Look.
The round table philosophy. And Eden just sits back and closes down again.
Vic is looking at Naomi very intently. I told you this already, and I'm going to reiterate. Kill your darlings. Shatter your dreams before we have to, Naomi. That is all I'm going to say. I do not care about the circumstances anymore. I'm not dying to some mistakes that other people made. And neither are they.
Should have burned down this agency when you had the chance. It's a shame you let Vasco stop you.
Vasco again, what the hell? Look, that is another fight for another day. The agency is quite vast. It is not just a city problem, it is a world problem. So if you want to go burning down that bridge, that's a whole nother thing we're going to have to deal with. But for now, we have to worry about my son. And if I got to talk with him, I will need to weaken him first so he can not try to kill you or cut your heads off. So I'm going to have to make something. It's going to take some time to build. Luckily, there are some parts around, but there's only one thing that is going to weaken him. I'll give you a little quick lesson. The reason why he's been able to kick your ass, to put it ever so slightly, is due to the fact of his abilities are that of a simple redirection. Whatever you do to him, he's able to internalize and redirect back at you in the term of cosmic energy. With that, we just need to dampen that. So I'm going to make something of the equivalent of acute radiation at a certain frequency level to deal with nullifying that, and then maybe we'll be able to talk. So I'm going to have to work on that. So it's going to take a little bit of time.
Naomi,
Yes.
how many AD are there?
Vasco, and you see Vasco go, yeah. How many are left? I think, well, Morgan got out. We don't know what happened with JD and Kalina. So the last person, effectively, is Aries, which is a problem.
I'm sorry, who's that?
Oh, and you see he pulls out a little bit of a book. So, you guys know the story of Troy, right? You know, everybody battling for Helen and whatnot. Well, that was started by Aries, known as the Greek god of chaos. They are the ultimate definition of an instigator. They pretty much have started most major conflicts, with the last one being the First World War, which led to the Second World War. They managed to get all the kings of Germany, England, and Russia to really hate each other, and on top of that, strife and discord, did a little bit of an assassination, and led into the First World War. She was captured at the Battle of Verdun, but as you can see, the actions of the First World War led into the second one, so she really hit it on the nail with that one. If she's out, she's going to try to cause as much chaos destruction as possible. So I've been concerned about this one because she has a unique ability to cause anger within people among one another. And knowing your histories, I was really hoping that you wouldn't have to deal with her. But it looks like they may be on the docket next.
Surprised we
As you
haven't
can-
met yet.
Yeah, I know you have anger issues. I'm surprised she isn't drawn to you guys like honey. So, you know.
I meant because of my family, but thank you for your
Oh,
observation.
shit. Yeah, that too. Yeah. So, yeah. As you see, you guys are talking. You hear a knock at the door. Did you tell anybody where we are, by chance? Because nobody's supposed to know where we are. So,
I'll get it.
no? Okay. You see, go get the door. You see, he begins to immediately get the shotgun from behind the counter. Just open it whenever you're ready.
Eden opens it.
Open the door, and as you open it, you see what looks like to be Dell, and they're sort of a little bit more of a formal attire, almost like agency, like you have to go to the office. Hair done up. They kind of see Vasco with a shotgun and goes, "Oh, Dell, what the hell? How do you know where we are?" You see Dell go, "Put the shotgun down first." And hi, everybody. Am I interrupting something?
No, we were just finishing up. And Eden just like opens the door to let her in.
Thanks. You see she kind of goes down. I needed to tell you guys the community is having a conference in a sense, or a peace talk.
A peace talk. Why are they having a peace talk?
Not really peace talk, more war talk. Apparently there was a massacre last night at one of the clubs downtown between the Fea and Vampires, who have a very long history of wanting to murder each other. So this really just sparked the keg. So right now, the Mariposa Society, Frank and his werewolves, the agency, the Fae, of course, are there. Pretty much everybody who's anybody. I think the Angels also made their way there. Are currently meeting up at the Spinning Sage. and I wanted to invite you guys, as I know that, one, this concerns you as well, and two, I think I may know who caused the massacre, but I feel that it's important that you guys get there to hopefully let cooler hells prevail, because if war happens, it's going to spread like wildfire, and it's not going to be good.
Oh, did you know where we were?
I'm a spy, baby.
Yeah, all right.
You said that you think you know who sparked this massacre. Should we know before we go? So we're prepared for whatever this talk is.
I think it's their psychiatrist. Specifically, Naomi and the head of the vampire family down here have been seeing their heads. They've been seeing psychiatrists. They don't know that they're seeing it. As one leaves, the other comes in, and I believe they may be manipulating them in some way, shape, or form to produce outcomes favorable to them. Plus, they only started, and sort of pulls out a notepad, about a couple months ago, so they're relatively new.
Speak of the devil. And Eden gives kind of like a wry look over at Misfit.
All right. Okay. Good to know then. I mean, should have known it was trouble as a psychiatrist. I've never been to therapy.
I don't think that's I have. I don't think that's the way that goes.
You see Vasco trying to hold in his coffee.
I just don't
Oh,
think
continue.
anything good comes out. It's fine. All right, let's go.
He just, again, he's like, excuse me for a second.
Misfit and Vic, the faces of mental health.
Any last
This is a
things?
PSA to the audience. Please go to therapy.
Go to therapy. That isn't a monster. So that's your PSA for today. But is there anything else we wish to do before we head over to the Spinning Sage?
Vin, did you
Yeah.
have something?
Oh no, I was just going with the bit. It was don't be a monster, go to therapy. That's all I
The
said.
more you know. But with
Oh,
that,
above table, actually. Do we know that the person that Vic killed a Fae in a previous episode? Do we know that?
I think so, right, Vic? Because it's or did you kind of keep it to yourself? What do you think?
Well, I mean, we saw it happen. So like we know that Vic killed that person, but do we know that they were a Fae?
Vic knows, and I don't remember why Vic knows.
It's
Oh yeah,
because
we knew because we met them.
Yeah,
Okay.
you dealt with their
Yeah.
mother.
Like we met them before they got killed.
And Vic is a vampire technically, right?
Vic
They
looks like a
thought they were-
vampire.
yeah, they thought they
Or
were.
are
vampires.
siphons and vampires different in this lore?
They're I would say different in this case. They only thought they were
Okay.
vampire because
Okay,
of
cool.
what they were doing, but for this part, it's like they're different. So
Okay.
they're not the same.
In that case, I don't think this raises any flags or bells for Misfit.
Fantastic.
I almost wish I was a vampire in this moment.
With that, you all proceed to head into the city. It's morning right now. You see that as you turn on the radio, there's just news about your recent events, especially around City Hall. They're trying to rebuild after the whole shenanigans with they say maybe some botched construction, but you know what really happened. But as you sort of you pull up to that same spot you went all long ago, about episode 3, where it was that bar with the collapsed roof. But you see it's been built back up. And kind of as you enter in, you see there is a number of Fae standing at guard, but dressed up as, again, sort of a biker gang. You see they all kind of give you that look as Dell is with you. She gives a head nod. You see one of them goes under the table. You see a set of stairs. And kind of walking down into their cellar, you see this massive, almost like stone carved wall with various runes that Eden you would know is to be a combination of Fey and Spanish. As you see, it's kind of written in. And as they sort of activate it, you see water begin to trickle down. The runes begin to glow a bright blue. And they, before you all enter, they kind of stop you all, look you in the eyes, and go, "We're about to enter a very sacred space. I will humbly request, because I know you have issues with a lot of people, that you don't start shit in terms physically. It's okay if you want to get rowdy and loud, but be respectful, is all I'm asking."
Eden turns to look at Vic.
Vic has a stress ball that they actually are breaking. They have multiple. They break it, and then it kind of pops, and then they pick up another one. Okay, on a scale of like misfit to heaven, how like sacred are we talking?
Try to lean a little bit more towards heaven, but the middle is fine. Again, don't physically attack anybody, or you're going to start another war.
I mean,
Unless you want to start fighting a community at large, I really would suggest that you don't. And I know, because Hob is there, that you don't try to murder
I'm
him.
going
And
to
he looks-
murder him.
Not here.
Not he. I'm going to murder him once this is over.
Fine. Not here. Again, I am like holding your hands at this point. Look, do not, I repeat, start physical stuff.
I'm not
All
going
right?
to do anything. I'm not going to do anything. I need to look good in front of your chief.
Boss, it's just boss.
Boss?
And the chief is
Mel-
not.
Mel-
It's a
Melina?
boss.
Melora?
Melora, there you go.
Melora?
Remember
Yeah.
names.
No, I
be
have to look.
respectful.
Okay, Melora. All right, I got it.
Vic, think of it this way. This is a chance to practice using your tongue as a weapon instead of your hands.
I'm already good at that. Well,
I'm
Oh,
gonna
you
go
mean-
now
you mean
on
like-
that point. And proceeds to walk through the water.
Before once Del goes through, but before anyone has the chance to like immediately follow her, I think Eden would like put their arm out. She really is right though. The Dread King wants this too, because while Naomi is building her machine, I think that he's building one too. And whatever it is, he needs the cover of chaos, and this is very obviously the last AD, so really, don't start shit.
Yes, sir.
easy.
Let's go.
With that, anything else? With that, you all proceed to enter through. And as you enter through the water, it feels strange. As you enter through the water, you see it reveals your true monster. You see that you automatically, as the water covers over you, you turn into your primary form that you all saw before, except a little bit normal height at this point. We see that as Vic walks through, you see their skin begin to turn into molten lava. Their hair begins to go on fire, and their irises of their eyes begin to glow as smoke kind of rins off the back. Heaven, as you enter, you see your hands begin to become demon scale-like that go all the way up to the elbow, as you see more angelic figures begin to sort of pop out as a halo forms with horns projecting out the top. And Eden, as you enter through, you see your skin begin to turn into a swirl of black and gold sand as it covers completely and almost trails behind you. As you see what is inside of you, whether you have released that part of you or not.
Vic immediately looks at themselves. I think they see that same halo that they usually have when they fully transform, the red hands. Eden, what the fuck? I mean, I thought you were just a guy.
Eden is also like kind of picking their arms up and extending them like past where their fingers should go, right? And just like almost like they're shifting constantly. It's just fake shit, okay? I don't know what this is. Eden pretends they don't see it.
Babe, you look hot.
And you can see that Misfit's like crown of eyes on their demon form is just like blinking over and over again, looking at the transformations, especially of Heaven, but especially at Eden, and it's just like, face it, right? Face it,
Face it.
face it.
Probably.
Face it.
I would bite you so much right now.
This
You
is
see Dell,
Vic?
like,
temporary, or
you see Dell, what you see before them looks like almost a mesh of wood and vegetation that sort of grows upon them. You see that their hair is now made of flowers that are sort of braided up. As you see, they have a spear on their side. Okay, you can all stop gawking at each other so we can, move on, you freaks.
who's gawking? I'm not not.
Your eyes haven't been taken off of Eden literally since we got in here.
No, they have, and Misfit I think like closes all of them except for one.
Vic, who is saying this while staring at Heaven. Look.
I don't know if I had to mention this. I'm going to mention it just in case. Don't do freaky stuff in here.
Okay, look, wait, what? I mean, like,
What does
you know,
that mean?
smoking wood?
You know
That
what
ain't-
it means. I'm
that
not going to
ain't
say it out
bad,
loud.
Dell.
You said not
Are
to
you
start.
seriously gonna say freaky shit? Like this isn't, and Eden just kind of gestures at themselves? Like this isn't already.
No, it's good.
Technically, it's what's inside of you in terms of what your true forms are. So, I mean, it's, this is mine. We got a bunch of other people in there. So it's just, this is a place where people are meant to show their true selves. You don't hide anything. And it makes supposedly the ritual of talking with other people fair. As if I see your true self and you see mine, then we can have an understanding.
Vic is also ravenously looking at Dell's true self.
Stop looking at me, please.
Didn't you just say that we're supposed to look at each other?
And you can look at each other, but the way you're looking at me, Vic, I know that look. And just, you see that somebody is beginning to come in the back as you see one of the werewolves begin to form up and goes, "Excuse me, are you gonna try to get away?" Thank you. And with that, Dell says, "Come on." As you all enter what looks like to be, you see stone walls with the water coming down until you enter what looks like to be almost like an open kind of Senate floor. You see what looks like to be a number of rock benches in a sense, or more like podiums that are sort of built along this sort of roundabout, and you see that there is numerous people. You see the agents seem to be the only ones that have a mix of both monsters and just regular people that are there. You see Hobbs is there, form unchanged as he doesn't really hide it to begin with this sort of stitched skin, Frankenstein-esque. You see the angels, Jack and all of them are in their own section, wearing their very glorious armor with their different neon color wings. You see also the werewolves in their sort of various color furs with Frank at the helm. You also see the Mariposa Society, which look also like humans, but you can see that their arms are almost like elemental-esque in nature, and their eyes are different colors. And you see Mimi is representing them here. And I believe that is everyone that is here at the moment. Which I'll check. As you see that sort of everybody pulling through. And there's already conversation beginning as you can just hear Hobbs taking helm as you guys begin to take your seats. As he kind of opens up to the floor, you see Melora specifically is in the middle, acting as a mediator of a sense, and kind of goes, "Floor's open, the foray is open to the agency." You'll see he stands up. "Thank you very much. As I said before, this is provocation. The demons and the vampires are teaming up, which means that they are going to go on a full-on conquest, especially after the recent death of the Herald of the Apocalypse. They're going to want revenge. And I am proposing that we form an alliance of our own to counteract this, sort of a counter-strike, if you will. The agency is willing to work with all communities, as we already have discussed terms with the angels." As you see Jack, voice echoing slightly. "That is right. We have talked about keeping the city under control. After the recent events of the AG and the Herald of the Apocalypse, the Vatican and a number of other deities have found it fit that we have a place here within your community as well, to order to keep the order and stop anything from happening. You see, Melora kind of speaks up. Yes, but you two do not know war like I do. I have lost many people to war, to colonization, to modernization, and to a number of other things. The last thing I want is more of my people to suffer. You see, Frank. That's right. We're werewolves. As much as people like to think we have beef with vampires, we don't. This isn't our fight, and let alone should we be dragging everybody else into it as well. I do support that we maybe talk. I mean, what happened to talking with people? I mean, is that jumped out the window all of a sudden and we're just gonna straight up kill each other? Mimi, back me up. You see Mimi kind of almost shy nature and kind of go, I'm sorry, but I support Hobbs and Jax. I've seen the damage that happens when creatures of the night do as they please. I've lost too many friends in the past few months, and I'm with them.
Have we considered that the Herald was killed unfairly?
You see a silence enters the room as everybody kind of looks over. Who let... You're alive? First off, you see Hobbs goes, you're alive!
And I think Misfit takes both arms on their right side up to their temple and salutes. Nice to see you again, Hobbs. Yes, if I may, have we considered that this inciting incident, as you are also wonderfully discussing the death of my brother, no less, let's not forget, have we considered that that is the agency's fault? And that the demons and the vampires are being unfairly scapegoated for rightfully being angry about it?
Do me a favor, because these are monsters. Please roll manipulate someone for me.
I'm gonna roll an advanced manipulate someone.
Do it.
Alright, so if you get a 12 plus.
Come on, this matters.
Okay. Please, dice, don't fuck me.
Proceeds to.
Okay, I got an 8.
Got an 8. Not bad.
That's not bad?
Yeah, not bad. With that, you kind of begin to steer the conversation. In this instance, there's nothing you have to give or anything. It's kind of helping steer the conversation towards the topic. But you see that there's murmurs and agreement, you see Jax go, but let us not forget, this is the demon of lies. This is the previous herald who had no problem activating a number of apocalyptic signs on the city, including, you see somebody snap, apparently fire from the sky, blood moon. There's a dragon still about that the city is having trouble.
Hey, that's my
down.
pet. That has nothing to do with anything.
Your pet killed a couple while they were driving.
He's gotta eat.
That's on them.
You see Jax go, as you can see, if we're going to blame the agency, why not also take into account the actions of the Mythics?
Why don't we
Which is
also
another
believe
And why
discussion.
not also take into account the actions, or rather inactions, of the angels? Wasn't it you who was supposed to protect us from the Herald in the first place? It was you, in fact, who let it get this far, Jax. And might I also point out, Hobbs, is the agency really having so much trouble that you've completely lost all of your notes about the AD? It's a little sad, don't you think? That the four of us are able to put together what's happening here a lot more clearly than you are. And you playing right into their trap. The vampires and the demons are certainly not your enemy in this instance, and they never have been.
You see Hobbs looks at you with almost malintent in their eyes. And in this instance, Eden, can you please roll act under pressure as he is part of your vengeance? And he is in such an easy spot to just.
Oh my god. Yeah, sure. 7?
7. You feel you can hold it back, but there's a choice, there's a price you're gonna have to pay for this. As you either need to shut up and not continue on, as this will only anger you more, as you know the truth of what's happening here. Or you can continue on and see where this leads to.
Oh no. Eden's form, which I think had been like very unstable to begin with, like all of the sand and the shifting, like it literally can't decide what it wants to be yet. The one thing that is like very stable is this kind of black fire that burns in the center of their chest, the piece of Misfit's heart, which I think starts to like burn outwardly. So the sand almost comes off it to reveal like something underneath there. And as soon as that happens, like Eden wobbles a little bit as Hobbs like returns, and then they sit down like very suddenly and very sharply, like back into their chair.
I will say, paperwork had been lost, but let us not forget, this is the work of an individual known as the Dread King, a dangerous person that has committed numerous amount of crimes.
Hobbs. Hi, babe. Remember us. Remember how you, at the agency, are the reason that the Dread King is out and angry. And they look to the angels. You came to kill the Herald of the Apocalypse just last week. So you would have caused the same problem. So I think the two of you need to sit down and shut up.
You see Melora, their staff. Enough of this bickering. You are not. You see, they sort of take a moment. You are not children. Speak with respect, or you will be kicked out of these chambers.
I have a lot of respect for you, Melora, and I know there are things that even I've done that I still need to apologize for. But with all due respect, those two groups right there are two of the major causes of this problem. And one of them, pointing at Hobbs, isn't even talking about how the fact that it's Aries most likely doing this.
You see, Melora, who is Aries? You see, no need concern. I would suspect they are not responsible for this endeavor. And if they
The
are,
last
it would be-
AD. Why is that a secret, Hobbs? Calling me the devil of lies. Come on, let's be honest with everyone.
You know, the people that the agency had us track down because you had them locked in an alternate dimension for 7 years. Tell the
That was
truth,
all
Hobbs.
right.
I am going to kill you when we leave here. If you don't stop fucking lying to these people, Hobbs, you don't have a right to act like you know anything about the AD, anything about monsters. Come on, Hobbs. And I think Vic is like flaring, hot heat, anger, but they're not jumping.
You see Mimi kind of go, even if this is true, we can't take it back. They're gonna fight us whether we do something or not. We can solve our petty grievances later, but for now we need to work together, and I still believe we should form our own alliance. I suggest we put it to a vote. You see...
Can you give us some time? Eden speaks up again, despite themselves.
You say...
If you need to make an alliance to do so, some talks between the vampires and the demons, if it must come to that, just give us some time before you come to blows. It's exactly what they want, and it will make our lives, all of our lives, so much harder if you do.
And as you finish off, you hear a voice from behind you. Kind of go, sadly, that is not my intent. As you see the Dread King Alejandro behind you, walking up, floating behind him, 2 caskets. As he is literally within like maybe 3 or 4 feet away from you, as he begins to walk past each of you to make room. You see the agency immediately gets up in the defensive stance. You see Melora put their hand down. So you must be the Dread King? You see, Alejandro Fernandez. If the people of the city need to know who I am the late son, or still son, of Naomi Maribel. So you see another gasp. I came to formally apologize to each of you as a whole. This work, or whatever is happening, is my fault, and I apologize. See, I believe the AD to be someone to help me in my cause, as my war is not with any of you good folk, except for them, as he points to the agency. I brought out the Mythics, I brought out the AD in order to help me win my war against them, and it was only between me and them. You see Mimi very angry. You got my friends killed! Morgan was a ravenous animal, and I have dealt with him personally. If you want his corpse, I'll be more than happy to send it to your society for studying. You see, they have to sit down. But I am not here for my actions. I am here as an emissary, a delegate, if you will be. I have talked with the vampires and demons separately, and have brought together a peace talks, if you will. The last thing I want is to see my home, the people I fought for decades, destroy each other. That is the last thing I want. So please, as a token of goodwill, you see the casket opens up the bodies of those they lost. This is the fallen soldiers. Bury them in whatever form you do, and come to the Sunstone Hotel. We have peace talks, and it will be peace talks. What say you all, Misfit?
Is he telling the truth?
I'm gonna need you to roll for this one.
But it's my power!
Don't you
Okay.
It
fail
is,
this.
but he's different in a sense. Is reading him is almost like in the same way you felt towards Eden, in a sense, as you see that it's fluctuating, not for anything like that. Is in a sense of it's hard to read him for some reason.
Okay.
Roll your weird for me, please.
Do I have to? Can it be my sharp? Can I do read a bad situation?
Sure, yeah, this is read a bad situation. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
I just have -1 weird, so.
Okay.
14! Devil of lies, baby!
You got 3 questions here. You can ask. Ask any of them, or if you also, it's up to you what you want to do. With
Can
those 3
I
goals.
fudge these and not use the ones on the list?
All right. So what do you want to ask?
Okay, question number 1. I guess just point blank, is he telling the truth?
It's hard because he is telling the truth about him not wanting to hurt his community. This is still his home after all. But there's something about a peace talk that just doesn't sound right.
Okay. How is the Dread King? Basically, insight vibe check on the Dread King's feelings towards the organization, towards the Mythics. Because he said that he doesn't have any hard feelings, but I don't know if that's... Is that
He doesn't have
true?
yeah, he doesn't have any hard feeling towards you. You see that as he passes by you.
Not just
It's-
us, but I meant like all of the organization. So like
Oh,
Hobbs and Melora
yeah.
and...
For the most, he doesn't have beef with anybody except for the agency. That is truthful in that sense. Again, he, as you can tell with what you've seen of him, he's very focused. He's a very single-minded person. So in this instance, you see his eyes are dead set in hatred, almost what you've seen in your own self towards the agency, looking directly at Hobbs, not moving away from his line of division. As you see, Hobbs is uncomfortable in this as well.
Okay. Last question I will take from the list. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? Is there something about the Dread King's plan offered that is just seems a little off?
Oh, jeez.
Bless
He
you.
sneezes. Thank you. In terms of offness, it's again the peace talks. You know, especially after losing a child of Iblis, why would they be willing to peace talk with these people? You know, especially your father is a man of retribution. The last thing he would want is peace talks. In vampires, you don't know. You know they're mobsters, so hey, what's good for business is a peace talk. That's fine. But the demons is, you know them. You know that they don't talk. They only know one way of solving things.
And Misfit takes that in as the Dread King talks, and he kind of, all of his eyes are like, I think, fixed onto Alejandro, and they kind of like squint a little bit. And Misfit pipes up, "What are you really offering?"
I am offering future, Miss Foot. A future where we don't have to worry about our true selves. We don't have to fear, as he turns to the hunters, mortals and other creatures who deem themselves better than everyone else. This peace talk is a step forward in that direction. To get us all on the same page.
I suppose dead people can't argue back.
I'm sad you think I would want it. Mostly anyone in this room dead, as he still looks over to Hobbs. As he gets close and whispers in your ear, I just wonder who's gonna get to him first, me or you.
And I think Misfit whispers back, "I wouldn't take the pleasure away from my darling Mythics."
But as I said, as he retracts back, it's an offer. And it's up for all of you, as it is not the decision of these individuals here. And just to throw the idea out there, in case any of you are thinking about it, points to the Mythics. Who do they work for? I mean, we have the Devil of Lies, whose literal whole shtick is lying and getting away with it. We have Vic, who went on a monstrous rampage, killing, if you do not forget, the daughter of Melora. In cold blood. Eden. Well, Eden has wiped out people, destroyed lives. They can't control their magic, as we all saw happen before. They had to resort to alternatives in order to calm themselves. And Heaven seems to be the most level-headed of them. Maybe they should be the one leading the group, I guess. But maybe they're just as fucked up as the rest of them.
Shut your
Question.
fucking mouth right now before I tear your tongue out.
You see
Don't
Melora.
prove your point.
We don't
As you can
have
see-
He literally can't help it when it comes to heaven.
As you can see, they're very emotional people. Who can blame them? They had a very hard life. So, then again, when this is all over, what are they going to do? As you see, he begins to teleport himself out as he just before he leaves, only to you all hearing, "Time is going to be soon, kiddos. You're either going to be with me or against me." As you see, he teleports out.
And I think when the Dread King teleports out, Misfit turns, because I think they had been facing Alejandro, and they turn back to the round table with everybody here, and they kind of like clap their four hands together, one pair on top of the other, and the sort of like pink glow fire that is their hair kind of like shoots up for a second in excitement as it kind of like billows back. And Misfit just kind of says, "Well, that's a offer from the Dread King, and I have a suggestion for us, actually. If the organization, if the agency wants to take charge, take point on this peace talk, as you have been doing this far, why don't we just let you, Hobbs, go? Represent the agency, represent the organization, and everyone else can stay here while you do that. We can join you if you want, so you can keep an eye on us, Mythics."
You see, Hobbs, I think that's a splendid idea. But let us not just leave it for me. Anyone who feels willing to join us, please do. As you see, he gives almost like a political nod over to Jax, as in like, "Hey, my guy, we're voting here." And it's kind of like, you know what? And you see that Jax goes, "Well, I think it is time to vote. The angels will be with the agency when they go to their talks." He goes to Frank. "I will go, but my people are staying back."
No, no. Vic is looking at Frank like, "No, don't you fucking come. Don't you
You see,
fucking
they're
come."
like, "Someone has to look out for our interest. The last thing we want to do is leave all the negotiation to Frank. I mean, Hobbs." You see, Mimi. "I think that is a wise decision. I will go as well. Leave my people behind." Melora goes, "I will stay here. My people, I do not wish to incite more violence, so I will stay here." So it has been agreed. The agency and the angels will go in force, with Frank and Mimi acting as representatives. You see, they begin to adjourn. You see Dell on the side. "All right. As that is over, I think before this talk goes down, you guys need to go and check out the office. Maybe there's something there you can use to bring something to light, maybe like evidence, like if you're a lawyer, I think it's called discovery or something like that. Try to find something at the office." They write the address down right quick. "Best of luck. I'm gonna go as well. I know it might be a trap, but the last thing I need is somebody's gotta be there to back you guys up and, have an ear for you in the room."
Now, Dell, are you marked to die?
What the hell does that mean?
At the diner, you know?
What about it's food? What the hell are you talking about?
So you paid money. You paid like real human money for your food, right?
Yeah, I paid money for my food.
I think Vic
Misfit.
just like puts a hand on her shoulder, and I think it burns, and then like takes a hand up. "Okay, good. Okay.
Misfit, you sense lie.
Okay.
Vic, you gotta calm down. It's a diner, for Christ's sakes. I just had
Yeah,
Dell.
yeah. No, you know what? You know what? That's on me.
Dell, stay home.
Okay. I have a job to do, so I'm gonna make sure I do it.
Dell, you're fired. Can
You're
I
not
still
my
do
boss.
that? Can I do that? Do I have the power to do that? Dell, you're fired.
No, not at all. And you see Hobbs. "Dell, I need you." You see they begin to, "All right, I gotta go. Try to find it as fast as possible. Maybe nobody has to talk in the first place," as they begin to run off back.
Vic immediately turns to Misfit. She's lying, isn't she?
Yeah.
I think Vic takes that in strides and walks over to Melora if Melora won't stab Vic.
You see, right quick, Melora. It's almost like like Congress is breaking up, so everybody's just kind of going their own way. So I will say, you're only gonna get to speak to one person here out of your desire. So if this is the one person, okay, fantastic. So with that, you see Melora go, ah, Vic. There's something I can help you with.
I I don't know what your relationship is to her, but could you maybe stop Dell from joining us?
Pray tell why.
Look, I know I don't know what you think of me. I don't I know I did some shit that took me a lot. I did a lot of shit. I've done a lot of shit, Melora. We both know that. I don't like it when people die. I don't like killing people. I don't want to see people hurt. I never have wanted that. And if Dell goes to this talk, Dell will die. And I think Vic is like crying a little bit.
You see, they put their hand on your shoulder. I will try my best, but they are not part of my tribe. And for a point of thought, have you ever thought maybe their death might lead to something else? That it would
Wait.
lead to a better you?
And I think Vic gets really confused at that, but is like looking very intently. What? Death has never been good for me. Laura, I can
Death is never good for anyone, but speaking from experience, as they look at you very seriously in the eyes, it makes you reflect on the things that you do have.
need to reflect anymore, Laura. I can still taste her. And I think Vic is referencing like that. CJ doesn't remember her name, but that Faye.
You see that it's very hard to be like, I can still taste the blood. And it's just,
Oh, Vic. Well, yeah, God. Yeah.
They kind of retract back and kind of, I will do my best, Vic, but I cannot promise any results. Daly is a very strong-minded person. Once they have their mind or they have a goal in mind, they tend to accomplish it. I think they picked that part up from you.
Yeah, okay. Well, her favorite memories had you in them. So.
That is a comfort. I must go. You see, they seem to hurry off. Before we go to our break, what about anybody else who wish to talk with someone in this room? Let's do Heaven first, then Eden. Heaven, who do you go talk to?
Mimi?
See, Mimi, oh wait. Heaven, you look different. It's weird not seeing you with your cardigan.
Yeah, it's a little cold, but I'm pretty sure these would scratch up anything. I'm just gonna say this very plainly. It would be in your best interest if you did not attend that meeting.
I know, but I've lost a lot of friends, and the last thing, someone has to go. And
We're going. I don't want to lose you, okay?
I think you're not gonna lose me. I'm a very strong mage. Just to mind you, okay?
I know, and I want you to be a strong mage tomorrow and the next day and possibly on the weekend or anytime you're free. We just need you to stay in one place, and I would really appreciate that.
Roll manipulate someone, please, for this instance.
Oh boy.
This is a little bit more direct. You're speaking with the person of like, don't go.
Is that charm?
I believe so, yes.
Oh, I got -1 charm. And that's a 6.
You see, they go, Heaven, I am grateful for your friendship, but I've lost again. And you see, there's a scar visibly on their arm from when Imorgan scratched them. As you see that there is, in their eyes, you see they're still playing that scene out of seeing their friends get viciously murdered. I'm not gonna let anything like that happen again. So if it's a trap, it be a better damn good one.
I am trying, and they have these massive dragon ass paws clasped together, scales bristling, but the halo illuminating their face still softens their features, and they are pleading with every piece of humanity they have left. There needs to be someone to remember them.
That is what books are for. And you see they proceed to walk off with the rest of them. And we cut to, I think, Eden's last one, unless Misfit, do you have anybody, or is that? All right, so Eden, you are the last person here before we go on break.
Eden, before they get up very fast, like maybe before Dell even comes over, and before they go, they kind of lean up to Misfit and they whisper in his ear, "Nicely done, Prince of Hell." With like the tiniest little smile as they like kind of push past, and they are beelining it for Jax, like even like kind of pushing like past a few other armored angels to get through to like get to him as fast as possible.
In the name of the just pushing them aside. And he said, "It's all right. Just let them through." Hello, Eden. You look Sandy, I guess.
We need to talk privately, please.
You see, he motions for the rest of them to move on. Please speak with your heart's desire. As he sort of points to the chest.
Not a funny joke, and you know why. Listen to me. Okay, I'm giving you this information for free, okay? No sex, no trade, nothing. I'm not asking for anything in return, okay? I'm serious, Jax. This is a trap. You're walking into a trap. And you are leading every single other person in here, vampires and demons included, into a trap. Do you understand me?
Okay, here's the thing. If it's a trap, right? I have superiors. We have bosses. We have a pub who's still very angry at you for trying to kill him. But my goal here is to ensure the protection of the city. Your boyfriend over there, partner, whatever you want to describe it as, let literal hell happen. So we don't get a lot of options in terms of what we want to do. You scared the living shit
It
out
was
of me.
not our fault. If you need to protect this city, then you will go to the peace talk, okay? And you will do something right for the first time in your life. And you will do something good for the first time in your life. And you will protect every single person that walks in there. And you will not let it come to blows. Jax, please. And something real breaks across Eden's face. Please. If I have ever meant anything to you, please.
Manipulate someone, please.
Bark, bark, bark.
That is truly manipulative. I'm gonna say that right now.
That
That
is
is
fucking
manipulative
awful.
behavior.
You
Not saying
better
that to
fucking
your
succeed.
ex.
You
Come
better
on.
fucking succeed. Can they have advantage if they fail? Because this is their ex.
It was a 9. It was a handsome 9.
Look, Eden, I still believe in doing the right thing. But if it does come to blows, I need to be on the right side. And from where I'm looking, you look like a bunch of misfits. I mean, you almost choked the guy out during a place where you're not supposed to choke anyone out.
Yeah, well, he would have deserved it, and you know it.
It doesn't matter. You're not supposed to do that. That's the problem with you. You keep doing shit that you're not supposed to do.
And the problem with you is that you keep going along with every little edict and order without ever stopping to look at where you are. Look at where you are. Really look.
You see his wings in expression kind of fall back as well. Look, I will try to do the best thing. If you need time, I will try to buy it for you. But if it comes to fighting, I will murder every last one of them, whether your boyfriend's family is there or not. Okay? I'm sorry. That is the way of the world. Okay? I will try.
Just remember when it comes down to it, it's you who decided you couldn't change. I could. And Eden kind of like bumps past his shoulder and starts to walk away.
You see also in frustration as you see one of them, and he's like, oh, shut up! And begins to walk towards the portal. As you all proceed back topside and head over to this mysterious psychiatrist's office. But we will take a short break. So please, use el baño, get that agua, and we'll be right back, everybody. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We begin as it is beginning, maybe about the afternoon at this point, as we zoom in on you guys reaching here. You see, the office it's quaint. It's not anything like a mega building or anything like that. It just seems like a building that's here, and you see that it's one of the ones that have multiple rooms in it, so there's a variety of things that are here, but kind of looking for who you're looking for, you can see Dr. Helen's office is on the second floor of this building. So with that, what would you guys like to do?
I like to roll investigate a mystery because I know I'm bad at it and I have a feeling that I'm going to fail, which will only lead to my upfall.
Please do.
Come on, CJ, fail, 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 fail. This is the opportunity. This is the opportunity. Fail, fail. I forget how to. What do I add? Sharp? Do I have anything with sharp? Is it a
Yes.
minus? No, I have a bunch of zeros. How do I roll this?
Is it +2? Oh, no, not +2, my bad. You
Okay,
just
there we
add your
go.
sharp.
Fail, fail, fail. Come on, fail.
So bad.
You did
I
in fact
failed,
fail.
baby. I failed, baby. I
Hey,
get nothing.
you are just too much on your mind because you're just thinking about how is Del gonna die. You're just like, it's in your mind of like, if they're gonna die, how? Is it gonna be like a car accident? Is it gonna be like, is he gonna get stabbed, vaporized, flamed, and soul sucked out? You're going through all the variations as you see just Vic staring just lifelessly into the sort of almost like lobby area where they have all the numbers and rooms and stuff. But with that,
Eden will also start poking around.
fantastic. Investigate a mystery to me. Anybody else want to investigate, or you want to read a bad situation? That's your two options here.
I would like to read a bad situation if I can.
Fantastic. Read a bad situation for me. Still sharp. What about you, Heaven? Did you have something in your mind, or?
Let's see. Whichever one
They're both
Hamna isn't
sharp.
doing, I'll do.
So
Okay. I have +0, so I'm great either way, honestly.
Fantastic. What did you get? 10? Fantastic. What about you, Misfoot?
I got a 7.
7. Fantastic. So with that, you, Miss Fruit, get to X 1 question, and you, Eden, get to X 3. So from that list, as you guys are making your way up the elevator, what questions would you like answered?
I would like to ask, what's the best way to protect the victims? Especially Del.
Down. I'm going to hold this one for a little bit, as there is an answer to that. But you have to, we'll see if you get that. There is a very viable answer to help protect people, but at the moment, you don't know exactly what's causing this to begin with. So we'll hold on to that one. What about you, Eden? What questions are you asking as you see the elevator ding, gets off of the floor?
Eden is immediately looking, like Del said, for whatever kind of like proof that may be in here. So I am going to ask what is being concealed here as my first, and then most likely, where did it go?
What is being concealed here? And as you kind of walk towards the office, it's weird. This floor is practically empty, and upon further investigation of just not even touching the door handle, you see it's like a bear in a sense. There's no receptionist. I mean, there's nothing. It seems more like an office space rather than a psychiatrist, office. So it seems a little bit out of the ordinary. At the moment, as you go to the door, you see it's locked, which would not be very hard for you to open considering the people in your party.
Eden tries the doorknob, pauses, and kind of like looks around. No need to be quiet about it, Vic. There's no one here. And they step back and gesture at the locked door.
And you just see Vic kind of just sitting there like, oh man, what if it's like one of those
Vic.
movies?
Door.
Oh yeah. And just like hits it and just
just
Like,
nonchalantly, like, what is this? And you see the door just get and continue to proceed thinking. So as you enter in, you see it looks like an office a little bit more now. You see there's a number of bookshelves behind. There's a desk in front. You see what looks like to be a number of files that have been left out. A window just giving in some sunlight, and a chair in the front. So maybe they are a psychiatrist, just, I don't know, down low, but again, still kind of weird. So with that, what is your second question?
Ooh. What happened here?
Upon looking through, you can see whoever this Dr. Helen is, whether it is Aries or somebody acting on their behalf, they seem to have been doing what a psychiatrist do and taking notes. As you see, they have notes on both Melora and someone called Antonio, who is the head of the vampire clan down here. You see that for Melora, they have that they are suffering from episodes of depression, as her actions towards her children and regret is a good pressure point to weaken her leadership. And for Antonio, you see classic case of egomaniacal vampire that is more concerned with his legacy than the actual well-being of his family. And with that lack of progress being made in this legacy is also an easy place to manipulate an ever so sweet chaos. You see that the psychiatrist is not acting in that sense towards their patients, but using their patients.
Did you have something to add, Vin? You're muted.
You're muted.
I'm muted. I did roll an 8 since C and Hamna did investigative mystery. Can I use read a bat situation? Okay. Then
Yes,
I'm
you
gonna
get
pull.
you get one in this instance.
Okay. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
You were looking for if there's any dangers, and you noticed as you entered in, there was a painting of a star-like man that's not behind you anymore.
Don't like that. Just gonna keep that to themselves. Don't want to freak anybody out. Not right now, at least.
With that, Eden, you have one last question if you wish to ask it.
I think on a 10 plus, I only get 2.
Oh, my bad. I'm thinking I'm confusing myself. My moves here.
No
Yes, that is
worries.
only 2. Yes. So that is what you have
Yeah.
gathered from this place at the moment.
Cool. Eden has been they, let Vic crack the door open for them and has just been rifling through all of the pages, tearing out, actually not tearing out, but dog-earing the pages in the psychiatrist notes that are referenceable. And they're just kind of muttering under their breath, good. Del was right. It's all here. And then I think they get to a point eventually where they're like, okay, we have enough, I think.
For
at least making sure the peace talks remain peaceful.
all right, if you say so.
Misfoot, you feel a breeze for some reason coming from behind the bookshelf. As this entails into your read a bad situation, you feel not a breeze of something coming for you, but a breeze of there's more to this place than just an office.
Hold on one sec. And Misfit, I think, will walk towards the bookshelf and try and push it to the side to see if there's something behind it.
As you see it opens up to an elevator of another kind.
Huh. Do we have time?
For that, we can make some time.
All right, everyone, follow me. And Misfit will enter into the elevator. Does this elevator go up or down?
It goes down.
Great. Love that for us. All right, cool. Down we go.
We go down with literally everybody whose main thing is flying as they go down. You see, it only has one destination, but by the length of it, you can tell that you go past the first floor. Until it begins to open up. As you see before you is a lab. You see it's kind of janky in the sense of it's got a mixture of the rough interior that is here. But you also notice what looks like to be in the far back, what looks like to be 3 separate glass panes, almost similar to what the agency kind of uses to sort of quarantine people or kind of to keep the monsters at bay. Full of people, not too many, maybe like 2 or 3 per one. But you also see in the lab there are various vials, concoctions, mechanical things being made and processed. But one of the things that catches your eyes is you see 2 tubes that you have seen many a time before, as they were the prisons of JD and Kalina. But as you kind of get closer and wipe off the mist, you see that they're dead. Corpses rotting in the inside. You see even Kalina, who's more of a ghostly fae figure, still in there with their neck snapped.
And the bodies in the panes or the people in the panes, I should say, are they people we recognize?
You enter the room, you see they all kind of stand up, and you see one figure immediately push everyone off the side. Guys! You see Rocco.
Rocco.
Oh, I know you. You remember where I was. I thought you would have left me. I knew they would never forget me. They would never forget me.
No, of course not, buddy.
It's been a little bit of a while. You didn't see my van up front? That, they kind of, took my ride and just,
Who took Rocco's ride? CJ's that. Who took Rocco's ride? Who are they talking about?
You haven't seen he hasn't been on your mind, but it kind of does a quick cutaway. He's like, well, after I dropped you guys off at the observatory, I went to go get a coffee at midnight, and then immediately you see he just gets grabbed. It's like back and tag. You see somebody hits him in the back, bag him, and then tag him, and that was about a month ago.
I, as CJ, have been wondering where Rocco is, but I had just assumed that like he was doing Rocco things. I didn't know he was actually gone.
He was getting attacked by Elmo.
No, legitimately. Yeah, I mean, Rocco didn't come to live with us, so that makes sense.
So yeah, I was like trying to get coffee and trying to get bed sheets and everything to get us comfortable, and then I got attacked, and I was like, "Oh
buddy,
no!"
I just thought you went to go live somewhere else. I just didn't think you wanted to live into an observatory.
Oh wait, back it up. So you thought I was gone? So you weren't looking for me?
No, I was, because I found you.
But you just said that you thought I left, which would in turn mean that you wouldn't be looking for me.
I don't know what that doesn't make. No, Rocco.
So you didn't. So I didn't mean that much to, huh?
Vic wants to smash.
I was a stray.
Vic wants to smash this open and hug Rocco.
As you're tapping on it, you see someone from the corner kind of go, "All right, I need you all to come." No shit.
What's that?
Eden, you know this person. You see Dr. Martinez coming out the corner. You see he's a little bit older, in his mid-50s. You see his angelic wings are still broken, in a lab coat. Almost very a lab coat, but informal, like, vacation wear on the inside. Cargo shorts, flip-flops. Hey, kiddos! You see he proceeds to immediately try to run towards the elevator.
Wait, he wasn't trapped? Like he was working here?
No, he was working here. He wasn't trapped.
I want to give Chase.
Oh boy.
Is anyone chasing after the dog?
Who the fuck is that? No, I think this is what happens. Who the fuck is that? Looks to you, asks out loud. Does anyone say anything? Because I get a
Ida
plus one to Chase.
Ida doesn't say anything, but they're gonna try to like hand out, turn the ground into like sand so that he'll sink into it and then harden it again.
It's
To like root him to the spot.
seeing
Roll
that
right
I'll
quick for me,
chase.
please.
If that fails, I will give Chase.
Loving that. I rolled 2 6s plus 3, so whatever number that is.
In a fit of
15.
rage, he goes, ah, God damn, you are really getting good at this.
Yeah. I had good teachers for a while there, didn't I?
Hey, look, it's not no hard feelings, all right? A guy needs a job.
No
And
hard
it was for a
feelings.
good
Why would there be
cause.
hard feelings?
We saw
Oh,
this guy.
Thoughts, of course.
We saw this guy in your memories.
Hey, Vic, how you doing? I have a name, and it kind of hurts that you're not using it.
I will literally bite you to death.
Okay.
Why the fuck is my baby girl inside of a goddamn cage?
Baby girl? What? It's me! As you see Rocco kind of like, let me out! Oh, the demon. Hey, look, I just needed a test subject, and, well, they've been great, so.
Big.
Nothing too bad. Don't worry about it. We've just been doing anger tests.
Big is so mad right now.
I think in this instant, Miss Foot, you get your question answered in terms of how to protect the victims. As you can see, for the most part, they've been using and testing water. So much so that you see that in one of the far corners, there's blueprints for what looks like a water filtration system in terms of a building would use it in case a fire broke out.
I'm sorry, I Humna am stupid and I don't know what that means.
It's pretty much if a fire starts in the building, your sprinklers begin to activate. That's what they have been working on. They've been working on kind of like an equivalent of that for a building to use.
Okay.
They're putting angry water in the sprinkler system, and then they're going to make the sprinklers go off and make everyone
thank
angry.
You. I'm sorry, my brain was not putting the pieces together, and I was like, why is a sprinkler bad? Isn't this good fire safety?
For the most part, you see that the blueprints are specifically for the hotel.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what okay, cool. Great. I was like, hello?
So we see that.
I'm so sorry.
That's the answer to your question. In terms of fully. So it has to do something with the water. So if you stop them from getting wet, they should be maybe fine.
How do we stop people from getting wet? Misfit doesn't know how to do that. They've always done the opposite. Okay. I think Misfit takes that into consideration. No, we can walk past that. Misfit takes I think takes note of the water filtration system and like everything that is happening. Probably puts it together much faster than Humna put it together. Can I ask you, lovely storyteller GM, is there a way to mess with the actual like sprinkler system in this building? Like, is there like some sort of control panel, central piping? I don't know, something.
There's an equivalent of an on and off switch if you get to wherever it is, if it's not activated beforehand.
Can I know where it is?
You'll know where it is. So if you know exactly where it is. In this building specifically, it seems like it's literally just right in front of you that they've got connected into the cells. But for you also know if you have to go to the hotel and do something about it, you know where it is as well.
Cool, got it.
As you see, the doctor is like, hey, you can let me go.
Nick's gonna kill this man for bullying their baby girl.
Get in line, Vic.
I think Vic is like, because they said we did tests on Rocco testing out their anger. And I think at that point, while Humna was, while Misfit was like, oh, like water system, Vic like runs over, runs over and is like holding his neck and is just angry.
I can see you're very upset. If I give you information, can I live?
I don't know, Eden. What do you say?
Eden, I've been very kind to you throughout your life. It would be very great if you save my life right now.
Oh, Vic. Shouldn't we be kind to the nice doctor who's done so much for us?
You
I'm a
heard him.
doctor. I got a PhD. You can trust me.
He's been running experiments on everyone in that cage. You kidnapped Rocco, among other people.
I had to see if it worked on other people like demons and angels and whatnot.
Does it work on you, Doc?
Yes, it would very much work on me, but Aries needed a new way, and well, I was gonna help.
Perhaps we should take this to the peace talks and show them exactly what you've been working on. That's what you always told me, isn't it, Dr. Martinez? That we should always show our work.
Yep. I taught you very well. We can go right now. We can go right now. I'm losing breath.
Yeah, Vic just lets him go.
Oh God.
You try to run, just know I can chase you anywhere in a split second.
That is very scary. I know. I'm the one who tested your speed. Let's go, I guess.
Unlock the fucking cage.
Okay, all right.
And Eden turns the ground back into sand so that he can move again.
As he's doing that, if anybody wants to just roll sharp to see if they notice something before we leave, please do.
While that's happening, by the way, Misfit went to turn off the sprinkler system, if that's chill. Also, I got a 7.
7? Who's
I got
the
a
highest?
9.
I got a
baby.
6.
I got
But
a
that
2.
gets me up an advancement.
Hey! With that, Heaven, you notice something that nobody else notices. There's another schematic here for what looks like a portal similar to what was built in Sector Z, what you first saw. And upon it, you see things from which you have battled. You see a page out of Awar's tome with blood on it. You see a shard of Kelgar is here. You see Kalina soul battery that they collected is also here. You see cloth of an eldritch form from that couple. You see one of Joaquin's guns. You see a flower from Ingrid, and you see sand from Tyr, as well as something as you see one of Azriel's wing feathers here as well.
Mhm. Vicious, darling, could you bring the doctor over here for me just a second?
Yeah. And I think Vic grabs him by the clothes and literally, non-metaphorically, tosses him.
As you just throw him across. Heaven, you seem very different than what you seem glowing of nature.
Oh, flattery will get you nowhere. I hope you know that, doctor.
All right, what is it? What?
I'm just gonna be very direct and very polite. What the hell is this?
You see, he's very reluctant to say anything, but then kind of looking back at it, it's a portal to Sector Z. It's kind of the grandiose plan. The AD weren't just causing terror, they were building resources, in a sense. So that's kind of what was going on here.
I see. Misfit, Eden, if you would like any spoils from the table before I decide what to do with this.
And Misfit walks over, I think, having turned the sprinkler system off, hopefully secretly, so that Dr. Martinez does not notice. We'll walk over, see what's on the table, and take the sand, Tyr's sand, and say, I don't particularly like my brother being used as a souvenir. Thank you.
Used as a resource, but I understand.
That's not better.
I thought it would.
You taught me how to use all things, didn't you, Doctor? These are very powerful components for my spell work. I appreciate you getting them for me. And Eden's gonna take as much as they can carry.
You grab everything, but there's something in your mind that's worrisome. You don't know how the wing feather got here. You're the only one who has it. So it's kind of strange it ended up here, but for the most part, that's on the back of your mind.
Eden turns the feather around in their fingers a couple times. But I think like time is of the essence and it's time to go.
As you grab anything, Vic, is there anything you're specifically grabbing, or you just out
The
there?
gun's kind of cool.
Okay, so you just grab the one revolver.
Yeah.
And with that, you guys all put that and proceed to quick cut to the hotel. You see Rocco is in the car, still a little bit upset the whole ride. I'm like, you left, you ungrateful sons of guns, left me to die.
No, that wasn't the case. Like Nick is like sobbing.
As it's just a very angry car ride. He's like, I will turn this thing around.
I think Misfit is in the back seat, probably with Eden in heaven, and he is just kind of like awkwardly listening to this argument from the front seat that is happening between Vic and Rocco, and just kind of like leans over to the twins. If we open the door, I bet we could tuck and roll like really fast.
Doctor goes,
We have the
join you?
wingspan.
Can I join you guys? I don't want to be impolite.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay.
We can use him
Eden.
like a surfboard.
Eden nods at that, but I think that's the only thing that they really nod at. Because like I imagine that the doctor is kind of like sitting in between the front seat and the back seat, because obviously in a minivan we are riding in the back seat because that's the coolest place to ride in a minivan. But Eden has just like, with the same expression that they were wearing at breakfast, has just been staring at the back of Dr. Martinez's head. Like just really far away.
Do the rest of us notice that?
Yes.
And I think maybe at some point, like throughout this conversation, as like Heaven and Misfit are like talking about ways to use Dr. Martinez as different sort of transportation vehicles, they kind of like notice that Eden hasn't really participated in the conversation very much, and they turn to him. Hey, you okay?
I will be.
You sure?
True.
You sure about that?
Yeah. I think I really will be.
Okay. And Misfit, I think, just like kind of leaves a hand on Eden's knee, just like kind of palm face up, just as like an offer, an invitation for Eden to take if they would need it or want it.
Eden does take it, but their eyes kind of remain fixed on the back of Dr. Martinez's head.
With that, you guys pull up to the hotel. As you see you're all getting out, you see Dr. Martinez kind of go, look, I know it's pretty wild, but it's very happy. And as you see something. Again, this hotel is more of a resort. It's a very beautiful sort of colored building. You know the vampires use this resort because it's easy to get humans in here when they think they're going on vacation. And then all you got to do is pop in a room and, you get whatever you need. With that, as you guys are entering here, you see something from maybe the 7th floor crash open as you hear you see what looks like to be a vampiric figure covered, soaking wet, just crawling on the ground. As you hear you see a Fae get down with their spear and rip their head off. You see their eyes almost watery, milky, like kind of staring at all you.
Fuck, I gotta turn off the water. And I think Misfit, I'm so sorry to everybody who's next to me in the car, in the car is going to release their wings. So they kind of like come out, and they hit both of you on the side as they kind of come out. And Misfit, I am going to try to teleport myself to where I know that the switch for the filtration system, sprinkler system is for this building. When I'm by myself, I can just do it.
Yeah, so with that, you immediately teleport yourself. With that, you see the Fae specifically charges right at you, Eden, as you take 2 points of harm as it slices. Oh,
Can I try to use Dr. Martinez as a shield? As a living body shield?
I
Because
will give
Eden
you
would.
this. Yeah, I will give you this instance as you see Dr. Martinez. Oh, we gotta go. Ah, what the? And it's just stabbed in the chest. Ah! As you see this Fae, very angry, still looking at you. With that, Mister, you teleport inside of the hotel, and it's very easy. You turn it off, but as you can see like it's almost like a water bottle. You can kind of see how much has gone. You see half a tank was used.
Do I have? Am I like looking at the tank of water right now?
Yes.
I think Misfit kind of like brings his fist like up to his chest, and like when he releases it, his hand I think turns into that like black night sky elongated claws, and they go and they try and break through the glass of this tank to get the water to spill out, so that even if somebody were to turn this back on, there would be nothing left.
Fantastic. As you immobilize that, you begin to hear something. As you see that where you are is close to the loading bay, or where a hotel would bring stuff in and out of a truck.
What do I hear?
You just hear, it's a very salty voice of, make sure you pack up the tank nice and full. We gotta head out soon.
Do I
You hear
recognize the voice?
You don't recognize the voice, but the voices that respond back, you recognize. You hear specifically Frank, Dell, Jax, and Mimi responding. But as you kind of get a closer look, you see their eyes are angered in the same way.
Yes, in the first half, not gonna lie.
As you see, whatever this is controlling them. As you see what looks like to be a large tanker truck with what looks like to be just separate trucks on the side protecting it as they're about to head out.
Fuck, I really wish I had telepathic powers right now. I think Misfit kind of is there. He listens to this voice and just kind of goes, like, debating between what to do. And I think they decide, no, it's faster if we all go. And teleports back into the car, wings hitting everybody again in the back, and goes, everybody's being controlled by by angry water. We need to go. They're in an armored car. Truck, go. Rocco, go.
You see the doctor. Oh my god!
Shut up, Rocco. Go.
Okay. And anybody else want to come in before I go? Or am I like going and then you're gonna like come and like am I like tailing or am I?
I think Vika got out the car to like, I don't know, get the person who was stabbing the car like away from the car, and Vic's just like, go.
With that, if anybody's in the car with Rocco, he immediately just goes off with anybody inside. With that, so who would have stayed in the car and who's out of the car, from my knowledge here? Yes. Eden?
I think Eden's in the car with the doctor. Like they kind of got stabbed at, like it's hard. You can't get out of a minivan
It's the
fast.
the open doors. So
You have like the open side, yeah.
okay. Heaven, what about you? Would you been inside or outside the car?
If he saw Vic go out, that's where he's at. So
Fantastic.
Heaven's
So with that, Eden and Rocco begin to immediately go out. You hear and see as you are pulling up, coming off like the left side, what looks like to be 4 trucks surrounding or convoying this larger, almost like gasoline-esque truck that's got the water in it as they're driving through right now. And with that, you hear one of the voices, "Oh, Jax dear, please take care of our guest." As you see on the trunk of the car, you see what looks like to be an angry Jax that is going to raise his hammer to try to hit you. What are you doing in this instance, Eden?
I'm also in the car, just so you know.
Okay, so and Misfit too, as you're in the car.
Oh,
As you
man.
see, this angel's about to whack the living daylights as you see his war hammer glowing light
Eden's gonna try to block that shit. Like they see it coming up, and they've sparred enough times with Jax, I assume, to know fairly well what he's capable of. So they come up, and I would actually love to use my rote to kind of like get the sand that is now kind of like swirling around Eden a little bit to harden kind of like armor against their arm.
I will allow it. As we are focusing on that, you roll for that there. For my other two that are staying behind, what are you doing? Vic and Heaven.
Just trying to knock this person out.
Roll kick some ass. It'll be relatively simple. He's not
Yeah.
too big of a threat.
Wow. For the first time ever, I fail.
You think this is gonna be easy, but then as you look around the corner, you see Dell in that sort of state of anger, and immediately get thrown off. It's like, is that how they die? And immediately get wah! As you get hit for 2 harm across the face with the spear. With that, Eden, what did you get?
I got an 11.
11. With that, you see the hammer about to come down. Vroom! You kind of have to get out, and vroom! As you see, it's Misfit, what are you doing? As you see, Jax is trying to break through this wall that's preventing him from harming you.
I think Misfit kind of turns to Eden in the car, who is trying to simultaneously probably murder Dr. Martinez and protect us from Jax. And they just kind of go, do you have this?
Do what you need to do. They grit their teeth as another like hit comes in.
Okay. I'll see you soon, Angel. And Misfit will once again like flap his wings and is going to teleport to the passenger seat of the armored truck with the water in it.
Fantastic. You teleport to the passenger seat, and you can see that whoever is driving this truck isn't physically there, as you see what looks like to be Mimi in the middle with their book out, as you see what looks like to be almost like construct hands driving it, as they turn and look at you with these eyes.
Mimi! Hey! Misfit, remember me? Friend of Heaven's? Yeah, I'm gonna need us to turn this truck around.
You see they roll their eyes out. I'm not letting anyone else die. You see the book begin to, as you see what looks like to be a fist construct, punch you for 2 harm. As you get thrown off the side, you're still holding on to the side there.
1 harm thanks to resilience, but ouch.
With that, we cut back to Vic and Heaven. Heaven, you see that Vic is not doing too well, as they just got stabbed in the chest for what looks like to be, if this was like a ranking of, an enemy, this is the basic. This is like the common tier. So you're something clearly wrong with Vic at the moment. You're muted.
I'm gonna say that zinger again. What isn't? And then Heaven's gonna, kick some ass. Oh no, my barb. My dice went everywhere. So one's a 6, and the other one, that is an 11.
11. With that, you're kicking some ass. So you get to do your harm, and also you get to choose from the +10 there. So you get to choose one effect. So what would you like to take in this instance?
I guess I'll inflict terrible harm. So
Fantastic.
that's
So
3
with
harm with the sword plus those 4 total.
So with that, you know how to disarm. With that, you kind of take your sword out, kneecap, bunt in the face as you hurt them, and they kind of go unconscious at this point, as it's just the 2 of you. As you can see that Jax at the moment, as they're leaving onto the highway, is currently attacking the van for some reason. And you also do get just notice a little bit of Mimi's magic as you see Misfit get punched out the door as they're hanging on the side.
We should fly. Can you fly? Are you okay to fly?
I think Vic is like, yeah, like shakes off seeing Dell. I'll take the angel, you take Mimi?
Okay.
Cool. And just zooms towards the Jax truck car incident.
Fantastic. So as you begin to join up the car, going onto the highway, turning around with that, Eden, what are you doing as Jax is still trying to break through?
I told you to fuck off. And I am going to try to use that shield that I've brought up and almost like push it out to just like push him like out and away. And maybe at the same time try a good little bit of force of will, which is my classic spell blocking / suspending a phenomenon thing to try to like, as the force field hits him, like not only rip off the magic that is controlling him, but also try to literally like, well, we'll try that first, if that's okay.
Please roll for me.
I will roll. Yikes! Uh-huh. 5 with all my bonuses.
Fantastic 5. With that, as you try to do your magic, you see immediately he stops, punches his whole arm through the windshield, rips it off, and grabs you, almost putting you on the ground, skeeting you across as you take 2 harm, before he throws you onto the truck. And you see Rocco goes, "Are you all right? That looked like that hurt."
Eden just kind of spits out some blood and does like they're getting to the edge of their ability to be okay about all of this. And they like look at Jax from the top of the roof of the minivan. Is that where they are now?
Yeah.
And they're wobbling up there and looking at him.
You see, twirling his hammer, anger in his eye. I know that I must do.
And I hate to be the one to do this to you.
With that, Misfit, as you're hanging on, what are you doing? As you see Mimi's still driving the car, thinking they've successfully thrown you out of there.
Misfit hanging off of, I imagine like the door, the passenger door is open and Misfit's kind of like hanging off the side of this truck. And Misfit is just going to like, I think like take a couple swings of their legs and then is going to swing himself back into the car and hopefully going to like kick Mimi's hands and the book out of her hands, ideally to interrupt this spell in the middle of it. And as they do so, they kind of go, "Really don't want to have to hurt you, Mimi." And as his foot makes contact with her hands.
Roll kick some ass for me, please.
I got a 10! My dice are being nice to me today.
Hey, fantastic. You get an extra effect on top of that. So you get to one extra effect. What would you like to do?
I think I'm going to force Mimi where I want her. So I am going to, in addition to having knocked the spell book out of their hand, I am going to have also, like with the momentum of the kick, have forced Mimi into like back onto like a seat somewhere in the back of the truck, so that she's kind of like pressed up and like almost cornered in a way.
Fantastic. As you use your momentum, kick them, book flies off into one of the nearby corners of the truck, still on it. As they're in the back, they immediately, begin to sort of almost like wrestle with you at this point, as they're still humanly strong, so it's more of a nuisance. But with that, as Vic and Heaven are coming around the corner, Vic, you immediately get jumped as you see Frank werewolf form grab you onto the nearby trucks and pins you down as he snarls at you in the most animalistic form. What do you do?
Hey, bestie. It's me, Venvox. I would like to use never again. In combat, you may protect someone.
So,
as if I roll a 10.
Yes. So with that, for protect someone, you get to choose an extra. So you protect them. So you're gonna suffer. Well, depending on what you do here, either you inflict harm back on the enemy, you either hold the enemy back, all impending danger is not focused on you, or you suffer little harm. So which one of those do you want? That on top of them focusing that harm on you instead.
Yeah, I can't take suffer little harm with this move, so I'll do all the impending danger is now focused on you.
Fantastic. You see this in instance and are able to save Vic, but as you do, one end you see Frank And on the other end, you see Dell spear down, begin to and charge at you as you get stabbed in the back for 2 harm.
Okay, I have some armor, but that still hurts.
Fantastic. Vic, what are you doing in this instance? As you get saved, but now see that Heaven's they're getting ganged up here. They're getting jumped.
Vic, who was about to run to go help Eden, like is kind of floating off the ground, and then just hears like this happen and is turning around. Heaven, and is like distressed because it's Frank. So I guess Vic is gonna hit Frank hard and try to knock him out.
Fantastic. Kick some ass for me, please.
Please, Lord, don't let me roll high. Yeah, that feels about right. I rolled a 12.
You got not the Duke. Fantastic. So since you got a 12, I believe you got your advance on this, if I'm not mistaken.
I do, but there's one that I don't have to kill people. My attack drives the enemy away in a route. I don't know what that word means, but
it means retreat. So in the sense of, in this instance, you hit him so hard that he gets off the truck, goes onto the other lane, and gets hit by another car, but he's all right. He's gonna get hurt, but for the moment, you see Frank is out of this combat as you are moving at a fast pace, and he got hit by what looks like to be a family van that was on vacation in Florida. So
sorry, Frank.
Trauma later on, as you see, still werewolf trying to catch up to you, but you're speeding at this point. So, but you did it. With that, Eden, back to you as you see it's you and Jax. What are you doing?
Eden, on the top of the minivan, kind of looks down at the hole that Jax had like punched basically through into the back seat where Dr. Martinez is. They take a moment to look down at the doctor. You want an example of the kind of weapon that you've made me? Watch. And I would like to use my siphon rote, as I want to have Eden like pull back. And as they do, they're going like, the magic is going to try to pull off Jax's angel wings. Because Dr. Martinez also had his wings pulled off by God, I assume? I don't know. So Eden is making a point.
Please roll.
You better not fail this. This is metal as hell and super fucked up.
Eden becomes God!
Oh no.
Can I don't know how I can help. I can't help, but I want to.
You can't help. You're in a different scenario dealing with. You're getting trying to. You see Mimi trying to choke you out, but it's kind of like stop it. What did you get, Eden? What'd you get?
Well, I rolled a 3 + 3, so 6. But I have one more luck. It would get me to the end of my doom tracker. But I think that Eden is there. So I'm going to use it.
How do you rip
so that's a 12.
the wings off of your ex?
So you know the God metaphor I just made? Yeah. Eden bends reality to their will. Like, it's not an ask. It's not magic. It's not even willpower. Eden bends reality to their will. And they take and they pull, and something about their face hardens on the edges. And it pulls down, and every single beautiful white feather. Everyone's laughing. I'm focused. Every single beautiful white feather comes off and like flies through the air past them like snow and collects behind Eden and doesn't form wings, but almost forms like a gigantic halo of feathers, like arranged in a perfect circle behind them, like rotating like clockwork or like a spinning wheel of fucking fire, like a be not afraid ass angel, as Eden literally pulls all of the magic that Jax has out of his body.
With that, like Kratos from God of War, you knee him on his knees as you hear him screaming in. You can all hear this. This is that kind of scream of pain that should not be possible for a person, as you see the white, almost neon blood come from the back as he just gets tossed aside as the wings begin to dissipate.
You just turned him into a normal man. He is not alive.
I tried to warn you.
You see
And
the
then they
doctor
turn
go,
and look down at Dr. Martinez.
that's actually pretty dope, but that's horrible. But also, you've done so great. Rocco kind of goes like, "Come on," and just like kind of read the room scenario. But with that, as you're doing that, you notice this, Eden, as you're sort of looking about. You see the truck is going to begin to go off the highway into the turf path. As you see that there is, like a sewage facility or water where the water is, in the city. You see they're not going in that direction. They go completely in the opposite direction.
Wait,
Which is
still? It's still driving?
It's still before you get your thing. You see
Okay,
that you
cool.
kind of hit the wood. So you're gonna have control in a second, but for the moment you see that the hands are still kind of on there before they dissipate. Which gets to you now, as you notice you're driving on dirt path right now, which isn't great for a semi truck.
And I think Misfit has Mimi attempting with their little hands, attempting to fight them, and they, I think, are just kind of shake their head and they say, and they. I think he takes, because Mimi is sitting on the back seat of this truck in a corner, I think Misfit just takes the seatbelt and clicks it in so that Mimi is seatbelted into this seat. Stay, please. And Misfit goes up to the driver's seat and do I recognize like where we're going and what part of town? Is there a landmark or a building or something that I can like ascertain we might be going towards?
For the expediency of this, yes, you do. This is the path you first took when you were headed to the observatory.
That's fucked up. I think instead of going there, Misfit is going to take the wheel and turn us around. Ideally, I think Misfit is trying to go to somewhere where we can dump this water safely. So wherever in the city you think that might be.
In terms of where you're going, you remember there's a cliffside, so you can just, but there's water.
Is there something in the bottom of that cliff that I should be worried about? Or
no, it's just a cliffside. You could also just like eat it into one of the nearby trees and just let it spill. That's the other way you could do it. So it's up to you.
I think we're gonna go to that cliffside because fuck this truck. And I think Misfit is gonna drive as flooring it foot to the fucking pedal and is going to go as fast as possible towards that cliffside.
Fantastic. As you going up there, we kind of do our last rounds here with that. Heaven, you are sorry, well, not to 1v1, as you see Dell almost has their spear against the truck and begins to sort of drag it as it sparks on the ground towards you, very menacingly. What do you do in this scenario?
I would like to say above table, this sucks. This blows. That being said, I don't know if there's any way I can just defend. I think they're just gonna stand in place and hold their ground.
Fantastic. As you see, they begin to use the roots around to begin to entangle you as they begin to constrict you. Not doing any particular harm, but the next shot they're going to get is going to be extra spicy if they hit. As you see this, Vic, you see Dell coming very dangerously close for a kill if they can.
Vic is going to try to use magic and burn away this mind control.
Please roll for me.
Oh
too.
god. Okay. This is good. This is good.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
Vic flies forward and mustering up with all the strength, all the magic in their hearts that they barely know how to use. Wants to use advanced big magic because I rolled a 12 or 15. And I rolled 2 6s and a +3 with my weird. And power of gay, kiss Dell and burn away the mind control.
With that, since you rolled a 15 and you're doing big magic in this case, you see that as that passion happens, you see that heat kind of emanates almost like it's like drying. As you see the water actively dehydrates from them, not in the sense of like deadly, but you kind of burn it out of their system. And you see that effect goes over to the rest of you as you feel a little dehydrated. But you also see Mimi in the back as well, Miss Foot, as you see that kind of, oh, ow, oh, did I get punched? Why am I strapped like a child?
Sorry about that. Wait, Mimi?
Yeah, that's a cliff! That's a cliff!
Oh, right. And I think Misfit, releases his foot off of the pedal, runs back towards Mimi. Sorry about this. Grabs them and then tries to teleport out of the truck back to the truck where Eden was. I think I do need to roll for this one.
Yeah. And with that, as you're rolling that, Dell, you see kind of begins to, that kind of like, what's going on? And there's like, oh, this is happening. Okay. And King to go with it. You see Rocco in the back. Oh, so you'll save them, but not me. Is that what we're doing here? Is that how it works? Huh?
Not now, Rocco.
Broken windshield, still driving at high speed, screaming. What did you get, Miss Foot?
I got an 8, which means that I don't quite manage it. Either I get separated from Mimi or we appear in the wrong place. Up to you.
Fantastic. You teleport at the observatory. You see that something's happened here. Something's gone wrong. As you see the truck falling off to the cliff and exploding in the slight distance, so they're not far. But you notice that at the moment, the observatory is under fire. You see there's what looks to be agency cars here that seem to have been assaulting this place. They haven't done well, I guess, but you see at the moment that the observatory is on fire. You see outside at the moment, you see what looks like to be, if I'm not mistaken, let me just double check here. Yes, you see Naomi kind of unconscious on the ground at the moment. You see they're still alive as you check their breath, but for the moment you see they're kind of unconscious.
Mimi, what's going on?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know where I am. You dropped off a cliff. What the hell?
We had to get rid of it. Come on, help me. And Misfit, I think, like goes to hoist Naomi up and like fireman style over their shoulder, carry her through this observatory. They're gonna go outside into the hallway to see if they could find anyone else.
Into the building or just into the building, right?
I mean, I'm in the observatory, right? So like further,
Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
just like out of the room I'm in, into the hallway.
Fantastic. As you kind of go in, you see fires ablazing. You see Mimi kind of, I'm gonna go in a separate direction. As you see, they're kind of using their fire
No,
to manipulate.
And I think they're gone as Misfit tries to get them to stay.
I will say they kind of stop. They don't go completely yet, and kind of stop for a moment. What? What is it? Should we not separate, or?
It might be good to stick together. I don't know what's happening. The building is burning down.
Okay, well, like, you see something protrude from their chest. Immediately, head cut off. As you see the Dread King, I see you chose a side.
And I see you've chosen yours.
Say hi to your dad when you get there. As you see, he pulls out the device that sent you to hell. As you get teleported back. As you are teleporting through at the moment.
With Naomi, I assume, because I'm carrying them.
I'm going to see if at the moment he only tracks you as he leaves Naomi there. With that, the rest of you, as you are driving, getting yourselves, you see the Observatory 2 is on fire. And you can see from the distance, you saw Misfu enter in.
Oh, how close are we?
You're relatively close, so it's just like, again, it's like you're driving, so you're a little bit faster than walking.
Got
so
it,
with
got
that,
it,
you
got
kind
it.
of,
And like,
it's
what
like
was there,
2
like 2
minutes, 3
trucks
minutes.
and then
Yeah, like
what?
2 or
Yeah.
3 minutes behind.
What the fuck is going on?
Vic, go. We'll catch up. Heaven.
Yeah.
You see- should I stay here? Should I go with you guys? What do you want me to do?
Is that
I'm
Del?
waiting for an answer. Yeah, Del. You see Del kind of just like, what should I?
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, okay, I guess. Should I take Rocco or should I? What about the doc? Should I
Take
him too?
Rocco. No, he stays. You two go. Get out of here as fast as you can.
Hey, come on. We just can we? Yeah.
Rocco, it's because we want to keep you alive, or at least Vic does.
All right. Sorry, Doc. And you see, he immediately kicks him out, still hand tied. Oh, come on. You know. Who enters in first?
I guess Vic.
Rick. So order. Who comes in first, second, and third? Just for my knowledge.
I'll go in a second.
Okay, so Eden, you're last.
I hate that you're asking for a marching order because you've never asked us this before.
Don't worry about it. With that, you, Vic, enter in. You see Vasco in the corner, coughing out. Guys! See, stabbed in the chest.
Stabbed dying or stabbed injured?
Stabbed, injured, almost like in a sense of somebody impaled him or nailed him on the wall.
That is okay. I can deal with that. Vasco, what's going on? I think Vic is floating in the air, kind of like trying to take an intake of the surroundings. Who's here? What's going on?
We got attacked. I think Hobbs is inside. He was trying to find fucking Naomi.
Hobbs?
Yes, Hobbs.
Vic wants to look for Hobbs.
Fantastic. You go in. What about the two of you? What are you guys doing? Eden and Heaven. As you see Vasco currently impaled on the wall.
You know, for the sake of narrative expediency, you know exactly what Heaven finds.
You see
Oh.
Naomi's head on the ground. I'm sorry, not Naomi's. I messed up. Mimi's. Calm down.
Chris, I'm about to kill you.
Calm down. I know, not the moment to mess up, but I did. But continuing on Mimi's, you see Mimi's head almost catching on fire at this point.
Okay, we're gonna just. There's a lot of emotions.
Heaven.
And
What are you doing first before I continue?
Heaven's speechless.
Can you roll act under pressure for me, please?
That's cool, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's an 11.
11. Fantastic. With that, you are actively fighting against something. You start to feel something trying to take over your body as you hear the familiar voice of Hello, Heaven. You mind giving me your body, please, so I can kill everyone? As you hear E. Morgan He's inside your head. He's inside your body. That wasn't a dream. He's inside you. He's trying to take control. You're fighting off for the moment, but he's inside.
Under one condition.
What would that be?
Make sure they suffer.
Ooh, I'll make sure your friends suffer. As he makes his intent very clear. Do you still want to fight against this, or are you letting him have reign?
She is absolutely devastated because their last words were cutting and broken and tense. The books will remember whatever Apocrypha is written.
As
Heaven
you
slips.
lose control, Eden, you see a set of eyes begin to form on Heaven's head. Vic, you also see this. As you're looking for Naomi, you find them trapped under a pillar at the moment.
Huh? Me?
You
I was
see-
looking for
yeah.
Hobbs.
Oh,
but
Hobbs? Well, you see Naomi. So you also
That's
do
fine.
see Hobbs is kind of walking out the back at the moment.
Naomi has the ability to. I have no idea.
You got to choose between Hobbs. or
Naomi's
Naomi.
passed out, remember?
Naomi is passed out. I'm gonna go for Naomi.
Fantastic. As you proceed to get Naomi ready. Eden, you see your dear sibling is possessed.
I don't know if Eden has gone inside yet, because there's something they
okay.
need to do with Dr. Martinez outside.
Please, sorry. Continue. What are you doing with the doctor as he's outside in the dirt? Fire behind you.
Eden surveys, and I'll just tell you, GM, they've given into their temptation of vengeance to utilize magic to inflict disproportionate retribution against someone who's wronged you. Dr. Martinez is the perfect someone. And as everyone runs inside, Eden takes one moment, turns around in the dirt with that halo of feathers behind them. You used my pain against me. You used everything against me. You used me as a weapon. You don't even deny it.
I do not deny the progress I have made for science. You are the pinnacle. You and the Mythics are pinnacles of science and magic. You are the future. You are the template. And look
Yes.
at you've done incredible in my own opinion, beyond any of my results. But you still
Yes.
have one problem, one flaw, my opinion.
What is that?
You
One
feel,
more note for the road.
well, if you must know, you tend not to look behind you as you feel something stab you in the heart. You feel your lungs begin to fill with blood. And as you turn, you see Vasco with the shard forming into him, his form changing. As you see, Vasco isn't Vasco. Vasco is Alejandro. As he takes the shard to your neck and goes, "You ran out of luck." As you bleed out on the ground, begins to whisper in your ear, in various Latin as you see the shard begin to glow. And as you fade, we see your eyes pop back up. As you are no longer Eden, you are something more. As your move gets activated in this sense. And that is where we shall end part 1 for today. As you can see, I broke them again. I'm good at
I'm
that.
cutting the stream. That's it. I'm done. I'm cutting the stream.
Cut. We're cut. It's cut.
We're out. It's no.
Thank you, everybody.
Hold on. I have a question above table just for that last bit. Did Misfit feel that? That's half of his heart.
Just you do feel that, and I think before we end it, just one more scene with you, Misfit, because I feel like if you need definition, you see you land back in hell, in the courtyard. As you see, trying to get your bearings, you immediately are taken by several guards, and as you are there, you see something shoot down as well. As you see the soul of Eden being grasped as well, which means Eden died and is in hell with you. And that is where we shall end it. So there you go. There you go. You wanted answers? You got an answer now. Okay. But with that, before we get any more questions, because we still have a part 2, thank you for, again, everybody, for joining us for this lovely episode of the Mythic Initiative. As you can see, I broke everyone. So with that, let's go in reverse order, starting with Hamna, to introduce who you are and give those sweet, sweet plugs.
I hate you. I just need you to know that. That was a lot. I'm gonna die. Okay. My partner just died. Okay, cool. Hi everyone. My name's Hamna. I use any and all pronouns, and I am a TTRPG performer. You can find me on Twitter at @shahid_, where I don't go insane at all. I'm in a lot of different APs right now, so Twitter is the best place to know where you can find me at any given point in time. The next place that you can find me is on Saturday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be on Vanna's channel playing Higher Education, our Strixhaven campaign. We are about to go shopping for some components in order to do a mind memory altering spell that I'm sure will not go poorly at all. And with that, I will pass it over to CJ.
Hey, it's me again. Former shell of a person. I didn't get to do any murder this episode, so the murder counter is at 0. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and I'm gonna pass it to Vidbox VA.
Hi, I'm Vinvox, and I may be entitled to financial compensation. I have no words. Just find me at Vinvox VA on Twitter, Instagram, Hive, and yeah, that's it. That's where all my announcements and cool things are mostly on Twitter. Fuck you, Chris. Fuck you.
Is it my turn now? Yeah, okay, great. Excellent. Hi. That was fucked up. Hi everyone, my name is C. I use they them pronouns. You can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet at PieSharpArt. I've played Eden. Will I play Eden next week? Unclear to me as of right now. Really did hit Doom, and Chris took that kind of personally, actually. So happens to the best of us, I guess. You can find me playing Higher Education with Hamna, having a shopping episode, very different vibe on Saturday. And then after that, a more similar vibe to this Transplanar RPG. We're in our 8th arc. We have 6 episodes left until the end. This is episode 3. It's a lot. It is a beefy one, but it is also a very good one. So much happens in it. In fact, my God. So much happened here too. So just check me out on Twitter if you want to see what I do in other places. I can't believe I have to do this. I can't believe I have to throw it to Chris. I really don't want to. I would really prefer not to. But I guess, Chris, it was your fault that all this happened. So what do you have to say for yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm that bastard they call Chris. As I get all guns pointed at me. I am glad what I did, and that means I did my job right. So, with that, you can find me at my Twitter at VO_Cologne. That's COLON. I got my website there with all my VO stuff, and I'm going to be updating it soon so that it's up to date. So watch out for that stuff there. But beyond that, thank you for joining us for this episode, and join us next week as we do the finale of the season of who will live, who will die, and will this city be saved or destroyed? Only time will tell. But until then, everybody, have a lovely night, and we'll see you later.